Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, and Fred, thank you very much for that introduction. I read a superb article in the Financial Times last week, and I thought I would share it with you this morning. Here it is. It's by a chap called Luke Johnson, the entrepreneur in Business Life section, and I was just attracted by the headline of the article: 10 easy ways to murder a business. And it was number 9 in the list of 10 that appealed to me most of all. It has this simple heading: never evolve. I'll read what was underneath it. Successful companies can fall into the trap of saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, to every innovation that comes along. They grow complacent and allow newcomers to eat their lunch. I just love that expression. Long-term winners are always improving, questioning, adapting, and no commercial formula lasts forever. And I think there's a message that resonates there, which is change is something that we should be embracing and not something we should be fearful of. However, successful businesses, particularly successful intermediary firms like ours, have certain things that never change, the core values, if you like, of the business, and those clearly are things like honesty and integrity and the way we behave towards our clients. But the successful firm of the future in the intermediary community, in my view, will be nimble, capable of evolving, and it will exploit the opportunities that come along. So perhaps this morning what we can do is just take a look at some of my opinions in terms of what the attributes of a successful business will look like in the future. But if we can start really by just giving ourselves a list of items that we don't really want to be discussing too much this morning, that would be that list that's up on the screen now. I imagine that most people in this room are as fed up as I am of the subject of the retail distribution review. But I would go further. If the reason for wanting to change your practice is because of the retail distribution review, or indeed because you believe the FSA is telling you you've got to change, I'll suggest to you that you're missing the point. Change isn't about external pressures. Change is about a desire to want to deliver something better to the consumer. If you believe that the reason for change is the acquisition of higher standards of qualifications, again I would suggest that you're not quite in tune with what business change is about. I have absolutely no doubt that we need to attain higher qualifications, but they only have value if we apply what we learn in an environment of integrity and skill. And of course all of that has to be backed up, not by experience as some commentators say, but by relevant experience. So we won't be discussing qualifications, and we certainly won't be moving on to discuss in any great detail this morning the mechanism by which we get paid. I quite honestly think the fees versus commission argument is redundant. In any event, the regulator has decided that commission is redundant, and therefore the debate needs to move on. Those of you who have already formulated a thought-through and powerful client proposition will know that that is a key factor for success going forward. And you will have taken that client proposition that you've designed, and you will have been, presumably, through a process of segmentation of your clients to enable you to ensure that you deliver the proposition to the right people. But you won't have stopped there. You will have recognised that segmentation is a constant, and you will continue to segment until you end up with the right client proposition to the right people. And I also don't want to spend much time this morning talking about the subject of technology, and in particular a particular aspect of technology called RAP. RAP does not a business make, nor does it give you any kind of unique selling proposition. Sure, it will help in terms of productivity, but that is as far as it goes. And I suspect, therefore, that all of us will have spent a disproportionate amount of time considering each of these points, and they're not the ones that I want to share with you this morning. So what do I think are the added values that will make the new model financial advisory firm of the future really valuable? Well, there's my agenda for the next 25 minutes or so. 4 added values that each of us as business owners will need to build within our businesses to get the most value out of those businesses at some point in the future. These will be the drivers of value within the intermediary community: brand, people, systems and processes, and and the glue that holds all that together in terms of profitability, assets under management. And if I may, I'll share my opinions, and they are just my opinions, on why these are important values within a business. Let's start off with brand, and let's take a look at that particular picture, if we may. And I'm told that what is wrong with that picture, as the Americans would say, is that the hood ornament has been removed from it. So I took that picture in my office the other day and I showed it to my assistant Lizanne, and I said to her, tell me what that car is. And her response was immediate, and it was as direct as you could get, and it was, it's a Mercedes, isn't it? And the isn't it absolutely was meant to imply that I was an idiot who didn't know anything. And of course that's quite true. I know nothing at all and I have no interest in the subject of cars. But I probed a bit further and I said to her, what is it then about that picture that tells you that that car is a Mercedes, because the badge, the hood ornament, has gone from it? And she said, it's the shape of the wing, it's the shape of the mirrors, it's the grille on the front, it's the general feel about the quality of that vehicle. And that said everything to me about brand and the power of brand. I read a book last week by the ex-CEO of the Coca-Cola Corporation, and he described it perfectly. He said, a brand or brand name is the most powerful force in business. And I think that is true, and I think one of the real values that we will build into our intermediary businesses in the future is the creation of a brand. Because a brand does so many things. It is, as he said, a powerful force. It enables us to acquire clients. People are attracted to brands in which they have confidence. It enables us to retain clients, because it is easier to retain a client if there's a brand which is projected to them. It is easier for people within an organisation to be passionate about what they do if they actually feel that they're working for a brand. So a brand perhaps can be summarised as everything that we do well within the organisation, and a brand is demeaned if we fail to do something or we do it badly. There aren't many intermediary brands in the UK today. I think in the future we will start to see them emerging. So brand is a key factor for success in the intermediary business of the future, and a key value driver. What's my second item? My second item is people. It is often said that the financial services industry is a people business. People buy from people. But one of the single biggest challenges with which I'm faced in the future is how I get the right people into my firm. What am I looking for? I'm certainly looking to employ people who are better than I am. And of course that isn't a huge challenge, because it's pretty much the case that everybody is these days. But people who are better than the business owner will drive up the value of the business. If I recruit people who are worse than me, it will have the opposite effect, and it will drive value down. Getting the right ones is the single biggest challenge. This year, in terms of recruitment of financial planners, we have interviewed many people. They have come to us with high levels of qualification. They've come to us with 20 plus years of experience. They are productive people who can generate revenue. And yet to recruit them into the business would have been entirely the wrong thing to do, simply because they wouldn't have been able to function as a team member. And a bit later, if I may, what I'll do is describe to you what I think the attributes of a team are, and you can see whether or not you can understand why so many high quality people from experience, qualifications and productivity simply do not fit the model that we're trying to build.